Breaking tonight, a decision in the Duck Dynasty drama. Good evening, I'm Shannon Bream in for Megyn Kelly. A&E says Phil Robertson and his family will resume filming their hit show this spring. The news comes 9 days after the network suspended the family patriarch for controversial comments he made about homosexuality in an interview with GQ magazine. Trace Gallagher live in our West Coast newsroom with late-breaking developments. Hi, Trace.
Hi, Shannon. So the indefinite hiatus lasted 9 days, as you said, but because the entire Robertson family was already on hiatus because of duck hunting season, that means that Phil Robertson didn't miss anything at all. A&E says in a statement, in a lengthy statement, that it consulted advocacy groups, the Robertson family, and decided to resume the show. A&E still condemns his statements, but says, and I'm quoting here, Duck Dynasty is not a show about one man's views. It resonates with a large audience because it is a show about family, a family that America has come to love. As you might have seen in many episodes, they come together to reflect and pray for unity, tolerance, and forgiveness. These are three values that we at A&E Networks also feel strongly about. The network also says that it and the Robertson family will now come together to promote tolerance. Now, it should be noted that Jesse Jackson demanded a meeting with A&E. He got snubbed, no response at all. A petition to return Phil Robertson to A&E was signed by 250,000 Christian fans. We called GLAAD and the Human Rights Campaign for a comment. So far, they have not gotten back to us. And Shannon, season 5 of Duck Dynasty begins on January 15th. Shannon.
Right around the corner. All right, Trace, thank you very much. And as Trace mentioned, we have reached out to GLAAD for comment. They say they're working on it. We hope to bring that to you. In the meantime, Tony Perkins, president of the Family Research Council, joins us now. Tony, good to see you tonight. Are you surprised at all by the about-face by A&E?
Shannon, not completely surprised, although it's come a little quicker than we thought. Obviously, this is a good day, good news coming to the fans, the millions of fans of Duck Dynasty. But also, I'd say it's good news for Christians out there who feel like they have had to suppress their faith, their belief in the Bible and its truth as it pertains to morality. This shows that if you stand up to these cultural bullies, they'll have to back down.
Well, there's been this tension and this conversation ongoing the last couple of years about those who, because of their religious faith or convictions, believe in traditional marriage, they oppose homosexuality, and the freedom to either say that or not say that. Where does the line on tolerance end? Does it only work in one direction? There's been a lot of heat over this case, but it almost seems like this particular case has been a little bit of a tipping point in this cultural conversation.
Well, there are some lessons to be learned here. I think there's some lessons to be learned from the cultural elite, from A&E and those types, that those folks in the red states are not just consumers of their products, but these are people who believe very deeply with moral truths. They're Christians who want to live out their faith, and so I think they have to realize they're not going to change what they believe in. Secondly, I think there's some lessons to be learned here from Christians or cultural conservatives about if you stand, even I would even say libertarians, who have to recognize that unfortunately this is not the end of this chapter. This flap is over. However, I think we have to look at what GLAAD ultimately wants to do. Yes, they aimed a little too high to try to take out Duck Dynasty, but they still want to silence those with whom they disagree. And the message here is we have to, just like the Robertsons, stand up for what we believe in lovingly but firmly, and eventually we see these others, these advocates, these bullies like GLAAD having to back down.
All right, Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council, good to see you tonight. And again, we're waiting on that statement from GLAAD. We'll bring it to our viewers when we get it. Thanks, Tony.